90% of traders fail, possibly even more than that. So what is it that we need to do as traders having that information? Well, I would say that we need to take the road less traveled as far as trading is concerned. So I'm just going to go through a few bits here. Actually, let's put this onto a different chart. I haven't got trend lines everywhere. Probably dollar yen, I won't have any trend lines on. There we go. Oh, just the one. Right, okay. So what do we need to do as traders? So first of all, we need to explore what is it that the 90% do so that we can actually look at that and assess that to say, well, maybe we need to not necessarily do the opposite, but certainly it gives us information about what the majority do who are losing money. So, and I'm sure you can come up with plenty of things that the masses do, but I'll just put a few down. So the 90%, they are obsessed with having high win rates. So why are they obsessed with having high win rates? Because the 90% are newer to trading or have been trading maybe less than 5 years, and so they want to be right, because we go through life being taught that being right is the right thing. We go to school, we have to pass exams, we have to pass tests at work and get qualifications. All of that means that we are pre-programmed to try and get the highest result possible. Now, when we come to trading, though, we realize that, oh, well, we don't have to have this highest result possible. We don't have to have a high win rate. But of course, that DNA carries on through into our trading. And so we naturally gravitate to wanting to be right as much as possible. We sit there looking at our trades, willing it on to become a winner, and even though that we know that it's a probability exercise, we still can't help. So what happens is that these people, traders all around the world, they'll do anything they can to be right, because, like I said, it's predisposed in us. We have to flip our whole psychology upside down when it comes to trading. So what they'll do in order to have that high win, in order to be right, it's not even to have a high win rate. It's about being right. Bank profits too soon. Bank profits too soon. Profits early, way too early, and run the stops. So they'll have very wide stop losses relative to how much they're banking. But again, it makes them feel good. So they'll have really wide stops because that way they can still say, well, I've made money on this trade, and I've made money on this trade, and this trade, and this trade. But ultimately, if the risk to reward is too inverted, then that can be a problem. There's nothing wrong with having an inverted risk to reward ratio strategy, because they can work. But what I'm talking about is what the masses do, and what they do is doing it the wrong way. So they go too far, because a lot of them don't even use stops, do they? So they don't even use stop losses. And so they'll say, well, I use a mental stop, and they come up with all sorts of excuses as, oh, the market makers are out to get you, so you don't use stops, and all of these sorts of things. And again, all of these practices will result in a fairly high win rate. But I think I spoke about this recently, that I think there was a study done, might have been at IG Markets, one of the brokers in the UK, and there was about 60%, they had something like a 62% success rate. They looked at 45 or 40 million trades that had gone through their books, and 62% of them were profitable, and and yet, when they looked at their books, something like 80% of their customers lost money overall. So how do you figure that out? Well, yeah, they're banking too little. It's the same old thing. Every broker I've ever spoken to has always said, yeah, what's the biggest problem our clients have is they run their stops and they bank their profits too early. So that's a big one as well. Another one that's really big that traders do all around the world is they add in to those losing trades. So they add in to losers. Now, again, if you've got a strategy behind that, you can actually be profitable with a strategy like that in adding into losers. But you have to have a huge amount of discipline, and you have to have an absolute format and a plan and a strategy for that, and most people don't. They literally get into trades, so they get in here, and then the market goes down against them, and they think, oh, I'll add some more, and then it comes down a bit more. Oh, I think I'll add some more. They've got no strategy, no risk management strategy, and all of a sudden they end up way underwater from a risk management perspective, and that's when at some point the pain's going to get too high and they have to bail out and take a much, much larger loss than they ever should have done. So let's now maybe turn this on its head. So we know these are just a few of the main things. I mean, there's so much. It all comes down to psychology, really. But looking for high win rates, banking profits too early, and adding into losers. So let's take those and flip it upside down. Okay, so now what we're going to say is, well, if we want to do the opposite, if we want to be as profitable as we can be, maybe our whole approach should be almost the opposite of what those masses are doing, because we know that they lose money. So we should be actively looking for low win rate strategies. Whoa, hold on a second, Charlie. What are you doing? What are you saying here? Low win rates, actively looking for low win rate strategies. Yes. And when I say low win rate, anything below 50%, of course. So or around 50%, of course. Some people would define a 50% win rate as a low win rate. So 50% and lower, maybe, that sort of thing that we shouldn't try and avoid it. So if you find a strategy which has maybe a 30% success rate, don't completely knock it on the head, because it might actually be a great strategy. If you remember the Turtle Traders, I think their average win rate was about maybe 25%. Some of the Turtle Traders had win rates of 15% and yet were highly profitable. So don't be careful not to discard stuff there. So first thing to do is to actively look and explore low win rate strategies. What else can we do? We need to hold on to the trades. Hold on. Always think about the market. It's like a bucking bronco. It's deliberately trying to shake you off of the moves. How many times have you ever been in a trade and you've come out and only for the market to carry on going so much higher, and you've kicked yourself for not holding on? And it's not easy. It's, as I said earlier on, it's the road less traveled, or the path if you're walking. But holding on to trades is not easy. But looking at low win rate, actively looking for low win rate strategies, and obviously higher risk to rewards in that regards. So higher risk to rewards, so where you're looking for larger profits relative to your losses, is something to actively look for as well. And then lastly, because I've just flipped upside down what we've already discussed of what the masses do, and we know the masses lose money, would be to not add to losing trades, but add to winning trades. Add to winners. So as a market is going up in our favor, we are adding as our trade, gets further and further into profits. We're adding to our winners. So rather than we getting into trade and adding to losers, let's just flip upside down what those masses do and actually say, what can we do with this? Is there anything that we can do to say, well, okay, let's do a bit of the opposite and actually explore higher win rate strategies, higher risk to reward ratio strategies, which might have a lower win rate, and also looking at adding into winners as well. And you take those ingredients, and I bet you'll probably find something which can be highly, highly profitable. There you go. It's food for thought this Saturday. By all means, add anything else in you want to in the comments box below today. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you next week. Take care for now.